Since colleges don't yet offer courses on how to become a minimalist, and there isn't exactly a perfect criteria on how to become one, I thought I would just make a video sharing the first few steps that I used to begin. I did make a video on this topic about a year ago, but I wanted to revisit it and see if anything changed. As always, I speak from my own experiences only, and everyone will have their own unique experiences through their journey of minimalism. I just share what I learn, hoping that you find some value or ideas through my journey. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and consider subscribing. Let's get started. There are plenty of reasons why people find a minimalist life attractive. Whether it's wanting better financial footing, wanting less clutter on your to-do list, or just wanting to enjoy some negative space, everyone has their own unique reasons for pursuing a minimalist life. The first way I became a minimalist was by reevaluating my spending. One huge thing that minimalism changed about me was how I managed my finances, and just how I saw money in general. But a minimalist approach to spending doesn't mean just doing less spending. It means doing it in a more calculated and careful manner. For me, it means applying the purchasing rules that I've set for myself, especially for larger purchases. The rules like the 30-day rule, where I wait for 30 days before making a big purchase. It allows me to do my own research and make sure it's something that I really want, rather than something I just get excited about and then I'm over in a week. This rule alone shows me that I personally get over the desire to have some things fairly quickly. Another rule I use for purchases is the one in, one out. The rule where I see if what I'm about to purchase can potentially replace something similar that I already own. Reevaluating my spending isn't just about spending either, it's also about how I save. I now find myself more often saving for one or two long-term goals. It's also led me to find myself spending more on groceries than at restaurants. I could easily rattle off a few ways minimalism has helped change the way I manage my money. But the overall point I'm trying to make is that I'm a lot more conscious with my spending and saving, and just a lot more thought goes into each of those. The next way I became a minimalist was by defining my version of minimalism. And I probably should have put this first on the list, but I didn't. I think this is important because the way one person lives as a minimalist might not work for everyone or even anyone else. There really isn't a template on how it's supposed to be done, and there's no specific number of items that a minimalist is allowed to own. This is still something I struggle with to this day after every single purchase, because sometimes I still do feel guilty after spending. But that's exactly why this point is so important for me to remember. Buying something that I really want doesn't make me any less of a minimalist, and I often forget that. And that's because I've given minimalism a very simple definition for myself, having only the essentials. And if it's something I love, then it's essential. You're allowed to have a collection as a minimalist, you're allowed to have colored clothes as a minimalist, and you're allowed to spend money as a minimalist. After finding a version of minimalism that was right for me, I've only found myself surrounded by the essentials, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The next way was I began decluttering. The first thing that typically comes to someone's mind when looking into minimalism is decluttering. Decluttering our drawers, closets, wallets, desks, and minds. While I've never really gotten into the full story about how I became a minimalist, it began with me decluttering my closet, and I just remember it being such a good feeling. I had no idea what minimalism was at the time, but I figured maybe getting rid of some physical baggage would benefit me one way or another. It was almost immediately that I realized I really liked the negative space found after decluttering, and that owning a little less might help me in other ways than I initially thought. After a while, I applied the same idea to my schedules and to-do list. What if I treated my time as a form of currency? Because in my own opinion, that's more valuable than money itself. I slowly began to say no more frequently and found more time in my day as a result. Everything I decided to keep and everything I decided to declutter had thought put into it and reasons behind it. These were the first few steps I took when pursuing a minimalist journey, and I hope this gives at least one person out there some idea of where to start. Everyone's situation is different, and I found a version of minimalism that was able to suit my needs. And I'm sure everyone out there will find some sort of balance that will best suit theirs. Anyways, I hope that sharing my experiences brought some inspiration or ideas to someone looking to start their minimalist journey. And as always, I appreciate your time watching. If you did like this video and you do like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.